In this video, we are going to talk about the user centricity of UX. So UX, user experience, it's like as the name itself suggests, this domain, this profession needs to be very user centered. So how is it user centered? So let's talk about that. Since UX design encompasses the entire user journey, it's a multidisciplinary field. So UX designers come from various backgrounds, such as from visual design, from programming, from psychology and interaction design. So anybody who actually deals with all of these different disciplines of design, programming, psychology, interaction design, they can actually transition very easily to UX, because UX actually deals with all these disciplines as well. To design for user needs also means working with a heightened scope regarding accessibility and accommodating many potential users' physical limitations, such as reading and small text. So when you are building for humans, when you are building for users, you need to take a very holistic approach, and you have to have a very heightened scope regarding accessibility, because not every user will be operating and interacting with your product on their 100% ability. So you have to keep in mind of all of those limitations. And a very powerful thing about building and designing for accessibility is that it actually solves several edge cases which might occur for people who are not disabled. So if you are building an app or an experience for a single-handed use, if someone is disabled in that regard, this design can also be helpful for users who, for example, who may temporarily be disabled, like their hand may be busy, or they may be handling with a kid, with a pet, with, or they are on phone and they only have one hand to operate your app with. So that edge case can be catered if you design with accessibility. So designing for accessibility have got huge benefits for products. So a UX designer's typical tasks vary but often include user research, creating personas from the insights you get from user research, and then designing wireframes and interactive prototypes, uh, not directly from the personas, but after personas, there are a lot of stages of ideation, a lot of testing, and then once you have those, then you test them further, those wireframes and interactive prototypes. So it's all a very iterative process, not as linear in nature, but these are the general themes of how it progresses. So it's the user research, is the creating personas, is designing wireframes and interactive prototypes, and then you have to test those designs, and then this can actually work in cycles. So these tasks can vary significantly from one organization to the next. It is totally dependent on how user-centered your organization actually is. So still they always demand designers to be the users advocate and keep their needs at the center of all design and development efforts. So in companies, it's very common for business decisions to actually take the driving seat. So here, the designers have to be very firm in their stance, in their decisions, in their reasoning. They really have to advocate for the users, and it's not just you have to convince them to sort of go with users' needs over business goals, but you have to find that middle ground, and you have to work out a solution in a way that the business goals, they are met as well, because they are of paramount importance always. But it they are not fulfilled on the account of users needs. They both need to go hand in hand. So you need to be an advocate, but you also need to be a negotiator, or you need to find a way both of them go hand in hand, and and nobody's needs are compromised. So that's also why the most UX designers work in some form of user centered work process and keep channeling their best informed efforts until they address all of the relevant issues and user needs optimally. So research context of use, then you specify the user requirements, then you design product design solutions, then you evaluate your design solutions against the requirements both from the users and what the business needs, and then you start the cycle again as needed. So user centered design is an iterative process where you take an understanding of the users and their context as a starting point for all design and development. So definitely you are at the end of the day building for your users. You do need you do need to first make sure that whatever you are building, the users actually need it. There is an actual need there, because if they don't need it, they won't use your product. As simple. So you need a very strong understanding of what your users want and their context, and that is the best place you can start your design and development efforts. So that was all, and that's how this domain, this discipline of UX, is centered in user needs and users objectives. So I hope this video was able to clear that point. And that was all. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.